Right, all hands on the pump.
All hands on the pump.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Right, so this is our latest podcast, All Hands on the Pump. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, it's not music related, but we are airing on Yes Please Radio with myself, T-Man.
Benny the sexy one.
Christian, the film nerd.
Yeah, so talking about films, we're probably going to be going through some films, movies, 80s, 90s each week and covering different topics of our favourite films. Probably action movies. Definitely we're going to go 70s, 80s, 90s.
For sure, yeah.
We'll have a different theme each week.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to be doing a lot of drinking. Responsibly, obviously. And we'll be doing all hands on the pump beer reviews. So each week we'll do some a different beer and we'll do a write-up and we'll probably release that blog on what you're seeing.
And we're going to try to do some nice outings in it. Maybe see like some beachy areas. Check out the nice areas of Southwest.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, yes please, Benny's all hands on the pump and Christian's nerd thing. We join it all together and we're just going to make something fun of the Southwest. Cider, pasties.
Cheese toasties.
Cheese toasties, yeah. So we were on about going on a road trip to make the ultimate cheese toastie.
Yeah. We have to find the bread in the right place, the cheese in the right place.
Right, so we've got cheddar. So obviously you have to drive from Plymouth, go up, go through Cheddar, Gloucester, get some decent cheese, double up.
What bread are we thinking?
I don't know. So I was trying to find out where it was famous for bread, and I looked.
It'd be like Yorkshire or something like that, or like Warburtons or something like that.
Yeah, there was a place that came up, but I can't remember. It was in Hertfordshire, and it was like well known. It was like this is the famous area for bread. So we'd have to obviously go to Worcester to get the sauce, cheese on toast. And then we've got a weird fascination with cheese at the moment, but we're not going to talk about that for forever. And then we're going to do 80s films today.
80s films sound pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beer tasting. What was the other one? We're going to do 4 subjects. Thing is, we're going to be drinking. We're probably going to forget what we're doing and just ramble on some shit.
Best way.
Yeah.
But it's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Right, so should we go into part 1? 80s movies, right? So Benny had the idea of naming 80s movies. I know Christian likes a lot of 80s movies.
I got a tattoo 80s movie, of course.
Yeah, what's that?
Mm-hmm. My number one choice.
Right, we'll get to that in a minute. Right.
For a list.
Who was born in the 80s? Were you actually?
Yeah.
What year? You must have just... You were younger than me.
Yeah.
I only just made it.
You
The cut.
You've made the cut?
Yeah.
Ah.
No, you're 89, aren't you? Right, none of us were born in the 80s. None of us were born in the 80s. Right, so Benny's idea was come up with some 80s films. I said we should come up with top 10, and then Christian's already got a top 10, I think, in his head.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they're going to have to help me because I can't remember which ones are 80s films. So I'm going to guess your films.
Yeah,
right?
go on then.
Right. I'm not sure if... So, yeah, you get your list out.
I'll get my list out, and let's see how many you can guess.
Right.
Alright, I can't see the list.
Right. Is Goonies in the 80s?
Yes.
So, I reckon Goonies is in the top 3.
Correct, yep.
Right. Because, I'm going to lie, Goonies is going to be in my top 10. So, and what proud daddy-daughter moment the other day, we was going through all the Netflix cartoons and she wouldn't pick a fucking cartoon, and we got on to, and she went, that one. I went, what? And I went, Goonies, and she went, yeah. And she likes the Goonies at 4 years old, so I was happy about that.
That's awesome.
I've actually got a sloth mask next door we could probably go get on as well. Right? I'm going to definitely say Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep.
That's top 3? 4.
No.
Mm-hmm. Top 4.
Top 4, so that's obviously 4.
Yep.
And Goonies is obviously up there.
Yep.
Right?
Did you...
Predator.
No.
It's not in your top 10?
It's not in my top 10.
No, get out.
I think you're forgetting a main one.
Wait,
Die Hard.
Die Hard is on there.
was that 80s, was it?
Yeah.
hell.
That was 1988.
Right, so is it a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Benny?
What Christmas movie?
Of course it is. It's set.
Oh,
It's
what
set
are you
at
thinking
Christmas.
about it?
It's set at
It's
Christmas.
kinda-
Yeah,
There's a
it's definitely
Christmas
set at
outfit.
Christmas, wasn't
There's
it?
Christmas music.
And
There's
it was played on
snow.
terrestrial TV
Yeah.
every Christmas, and
Yeah.
still is.
Even Bruce Willis says it's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, but
Can't
he's
get it
looking
wrong,
at it as an
Yeah,
actor.
but
he said it's a Bruce Willis movie
A Bruce
because
Willis movie, yeah. I think I've seen that meme actually. Right, so we've got Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't have Predator. What about Terminator?
no,
I want Terminator.
no.
Is it a Little Mermaid? Just wondering. That came in the 80s.
Right, so I'm trying to think about like every film that I can remember from the 80s. So we've got Predator, Terminator, Die Hard, The Goonies,
Yeah.
Big Trouble Little China.
Yeah, that's in it.
There's got so
Big Trouble's in it.
yeah.
Robocop?
No.
No, Robocop.
I'm trying to remember what it's like. I always get confused because it's like, oh wait, Alien.
No,
Aliens?
surprisingly not.
Is Aliens 80s or 90s?
80s.
What year was Aliens? 89 or 87 or something?
No. I
I
don't
think
know. I'd have to go
the
on my
first
phone.
Alien was 84, wasn't it?
No, the first Alien was late 70s, like 1970s.
Oh, 78, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
something like that.
Yeah.
78,
I don't know, I'm
79.
just reading off numbers.
Yeah.
I get confused which ones are which.
Yeah. Should I give you the list? Should
Does
I
it
just?
feature
Yeah.
Corey
Yeah.
Feldman? One of them, just wondering.
Yeah, of course
It
it
does.
does. Of course it does. Of course it
I
does.
think I know it.
All right, so number 10, I got Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, that's
That's
actually
good.
pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
That was 1986. Number 9, I've got Batman. That was 1989.
Yes. Good film. Good film.
Number 8, I've got Willow. That was in 1988. Number 7, I got Back to the Future. That was 1985. Number 6, Die Hard As You Got, and that's 1988. Number 5, Ghostbusters, 1984. Number 4, Big Trouble in Little China, which was 1986. Number 3 was The Thing. That was in
Oh,
1982.
mate, yes, The Thing.
Yeah.
Classic, Kurt Russell.
Number
You
2.
got a thing for Kurt Russell then?
I know someone that does. Number 2 was The Lost Boys. That was in 1987.
Yes.
That was it. That was the
Lost
film I was
Boys.
That was,
thinking
that
of.
was
There
Lost
you
Boys. And then number 1 was Goonies. And then, of course, I
Yes,
got the Goonies Never Say Die tattoo on me.
Nice. Right, let me have a look at that list. I can give you my top 10. So, Goonies, Lost Boys, The Thing, Big Trouble, Ghostbusters, Die Hard, Back to the Future. Breakfast Club was 80s.
That was
wasn't
80s,
it?
yeah.
I would have Breakfast Club in there, and I would probably have like Predator and Terminator instead of Batman and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That would probably be roughly my top 10. But most of the classic films in the 80s were like the ones,
They're all banging anyway.
they're all decent films.
I'm trying to think of Christmas films
What-
for the 80s now. I don't know why that's got in my
Scrooged.
head.
Then my tradition,
Oh, when the
Christmas
background-
Eve.
Was that you?
Yeah, that was late 80s, 1970s, 87 or 88 maybe, I think it was. Christmas Eve, I always have to watch Scrooged. I know most people would do Muppets Christmas Carol with Scrooged, but I don't. I do the Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's a legend. He's
Yeah.
been quite a few
For
films.
anyone like gonna destroy us in the comments, we literally just came up with this idea for 80s. So if we're gonna take some stick for it, but you know we'll get some. We'll learn the proper dates and we'll go through it, and then we'll pop in some stuff from the Yes Please shop because I do a lot of film related stuff as well. Mainly aliens.
I apologise to all the Little Mermaid fans. Obviously, didn't get one with him, but there you go. It's all different categories here. Thought I'd put that one out there.
So what were yours then?
Mine's mainly quite similar, but obviously I need to get my.
Are you a bit shy about it?
No,
Tell
no,
them that's
no.
what it is. Little Mermaid is obviously.
Oh yeah, it's number one. Top banana that one is.
Inner Space.
In a space.
That was a good film.
There's quite a few. It's mainly like an action-packed 80s section, isn't it? When you got like Rambo, for example.
Yeah,
and things like
there
that.
was
It's
always
all
the
muscle.
competition between Arnie and Sylvester, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
he was like, what was the one? He had Rambo, and then it was like Commando, and then it was like, but I feel like
No,
Sylvester.
wasn't Commando. That was the Arnie version.
Commando was Arnie, yeah, and Sylvester Stallone was Rambo, but they always had something similar, didn't they? But then Arnie started doing like Kindergarten Cop, which was actually alright.
Twins.
Twins, oh, that was terrible. That was Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito,
wasn't it?
yeah.
What else was there?
Well, you've got his
Oh.
you got Rocky.
What was that one with the toy? The little superhero toy.
Oh, that was in the 90s. That was the Christmas film.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Oh, are you on about it's
Like
Reading,
action?
isn't it?
No, it wasn't action. Something. I can't remember the name now.
Yeah, I know what now.
You have to do your research into.
Yeah.
That's a
It will
Christmas
come.
film.
It will come
That's a
after the
Christmas
show.
film.
Turbo Man.
That's it, Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
We got that one.
And then so I like Sylvester. Oh, was Rambo? Was that 80s then? 'Cause that would have been in mine. Yeah, definitely First Blood.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best one, I think. You drew First Blood. Yeah,
Is that your
but
text?
Arnie. So Arnie's good one. Like I think Arnie's absolute classics was Predator and Terminator.
When I say Terminator, I'm going to go with the second film.
Terminator
Yeah,
2,
Terminator 2,
well,
Judgment Day, yeah.
I think Terminator 2 is good, and that scene like where he's like on the motorbike, and he's in the lorry and stuff like that. The little kid, John Connor, whatever his name was.
John Connor.
And Skynet.
But the third one came out, it's not so good. I reckon 1 and 2, absolutely amazing. Third film, that's where it started going downhill for Terminator films.
Yeah, it's the same with all of them. It's the same with the Alien films as well. You sort of, like, they had their best period, and then you sort of just, like, lose track, don't you? They're, like, gone. There's, like, number 7, or, like, Alien vs. Predator 6, or something ridiculous.
Well, Alien 2 was the best one, in my opinion, out of the Alien films.
Aliens, yeah.
Aliens,
so
yeah.
the first one was
But
Alien.
but they're two different genres, and I get stuck because I love my horror, as you both know.
There's 3 genres, would you say? It's sci-fi.
Well, it starts off horror, doesn't it?
Horror.
It's atmospheric
It's
horror.
horror, sci-fi, and action.
Yeah.
All, like, joined together.
So, like, the first one is just all out horror because there's not much sound to it, and so you're not expecting it. And then, as you probably both know, when they've done the scene with the face hugger that comes out, and they're on that, their faces were their genuine faces, because they didn't know it was going to pop out.
Yeah.
So, and that like shook everyone that saw it at the cinema.
When they set that up, they put like a spring or something, just went, hello, and back in again. Surprise!
Yeah, but then what people always forget is that they, like, when the films sort of come out and that, they hadn't already been done. So like when people watch stuff now, they've already seen 100, like younger people, they've already seen like 100 films that's already been influenced by them sort of films. So then they just thought, oh, that was a bit boring, or that's a bit like. But I feel like Aliens never got old. The same as Terminator 2.
No, do you think like where films get it wrong now is in the trailer? They give out too much, so you near enough know most of the like kill scenes or the action scenes. You've seen it in the trailer, rather than leaving it to surprise.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I feel like also that most of the films, obviously before it was more art, and it still is, but it's just different types of films now, because that's a different era, isn't it? And different people, different society, different everything. So when they did these films, so then there was that whole stage of like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and it was all sort of changed, hadn't there?
They're all from books, though.
Yeah.
So you can easily.
And then
material.
like most of the stuff was from like comics as well, isn't it? So like most films.
What, Marvel?
Yeah. Well, I mean like the Aliens were all comics before, were they not?
Yeah, but films like the 80s, going back to it again, Shining, for example,
Yeah.
that's based upon a book. So,
Yeah.
So there's plenty of films that have come.
Johnny.
Yeah.
What was your opinion of Doctor Sleep?
He's barely awake.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because of course they used the ending that was in the book rather than Stanley Kubrick's version.
So Ian McGregor is in that one, isn't he?
Yeah, Ewan McGregor, yeah. Have you seen it, Doctor Sleep?
No, I don't think so. I might have seen
it's
it,
the
but-
sequel to The Shining.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was a bit freaky, The Shining. I just remember like some little kids on like trikes, just like going up and down the corridor or something.
What, with the elevator?
With
with
a
blood
blue-
coming
Well,
through?
I never really
Forever
had
and
that fun
ever.
of them sort of movies, to be honest.
What shocked me, Jan, did you put Star Wars on your list?
No.
You didn't put Star
I
Wars
didn't.
on?
I
Oh, I didn't put Star Wars
What
on.
would be your best horrors then from the 80s? Like, because horrors used to be scary because they weren't really horrors before.
No.
So like Halloween and stuff with the music, the music alone would shit you up.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'd be watching it on your old TV at home, and then suddenly like you hear a noise, you'd be like, fucking Michael Myers, wasn't it?
No, it's William Shatner, isn't it? They just paid the max. So-
It's really weird. Like, so I got brought up on horror films. I watched like The Exorcist when I was way too young, and then I remember my brother introduced me of
The Exorcist was quality.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it got worse.
Then I got introduced like the cheesy horrors like Return of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead
Oh yeah,
Part 2.
I forgot about them films. I used to love them zombie films.
That's the one
like
more, isn't it? The zombies. Because you got Night of the Living Dead, which is the black and white one.
There was so many other ones, and it's like always slight changes in the names as well, weren't there? Like Night of the Living Dead.
So of the Dead had like several ones, didn't they? Of the Dead,
Remember Dust to Dawn?
Dust Till Dawn was it? Did you watch that? They brought out another 2 films of that, didn't they? But it was the third one was the best. It was sort of like prequel, but the first one was probably the best.
Like Freddy Krueger was alright, but I liked Nightmare on Elm Street, but I liked the Halloween ones more.
Yeah, it was more
intense and scary.
Yeah, the thing with Nightmare on Elm Street, like I think at the time when they come out of the cinemas in the 80s, it was horror, it was scary.
And Friday the 13th.
You think the first Nightmare, that's Johnny Depp's first ever movie appearance, and of course he ends up getting sunk into the bed and the blood's going up like that. Which is a shock for everyone seeing that amount of blood. But then the further you go on, it's more of gets more into comedy.
Yeah.
But I think my favourite
Dream Warriors.
Number 3, Dream Warriors. That's my
TV
favourite
one, isn't it?
Yeah, and
what would you say vampire films come under? Because they're kind of horror,
they still be horror.
But they're not as scary. But they used to be scary. But remember what you had Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, that was 90s.
Yeah. What was the one with Tom Cruise in?
Interview with the Vampire. That was 90s.
That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I loved that was good. One. But Lost Boys was the best one.
Lost Boys. Then my second 80s horror film vampire flick would be Near Dark, and all the vampires. You got Bill Paxton. You've got Lance Henriksen, Bishop, Vasquez. So you've got all that main people from Aliens.
Yeah.
So a generalization of.
So it's basically a family. It's a family of vampires, and it's interesting is the younger. He's called Homer in the film. He's the kid. He's like a teenager, but he's the oldest of the whole family.
Yeah.
He's like over 200 years old.
Yeah.
He's the stepbrother of one of the characters in the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Of the character Michael in the Lost Boys, who of course turns into a vampire towards the end. Spoiler alert. He's the stepbrother of him, so they've both been a vampire.
And there was a lot of them in there. What was that film called? Where is it? Stand by Me? Was
Stand by Me?
Kids
Yeah.
On that little adventure.
Yeah.
And then one of them kids is in another film, what's similar to them. And there's a few of them as well. Do you remember that?
You're thinking of Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman that's the guy.
Goonies, Lost Boys.
Yeah, that's the one.
Gremlins.
All goes back to Corey Feldman apparently.
Yeah.
Full circle.
And then for anyone like watching at home, leave in the comments that like if you feel like the kids in films in like the late 80s and 90s like influenced you, because when I watched like Lost Boys and stuff and E.T. and stuff, and they're always like, and BMXers were big, weren't they? And BMXers started coming around. They had like little camo on the BMXers and little choppers and like you just getting out.
Oh, you remember the choppers though, riding in style.
Yeah, and then like just like what was that kid in that caveman film called where he got frozen? What was that film called? There was one where he was a caveman and then he defrosted in the guy's backyard.
That was in the 90s. It was called not like in.
But he ended up being in Lord of the Rings, didn't he? Wasn't he one of the hobbits?
No, you're thinking it's Brendan Fraser.
No,
Brendan Fraser. That's the
Brendan Fraser.
He was the caveman.
He was the caveman.
No, the other kid that was the one who found him in the garden. Was he not in?
No.
Was he not one of the hobbits?
No,
I swear down.
No.
That's another question to ask him.
He's the podgy one.
It wasn't Sean Astin. You're thinking of Sean Astin.
What film am I thinking of then?
Is it Astin or Austin?
Sean Astin,
I've
always pronounced it.
Yeah, I think that is, I don't know. So it's weird because all these when it's just a memory, I don't really watch them anymore. So there's they all just blend, one guy blends into one. And for about 10 years I got confused between Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, even though they look completely different. In my head, it's just always just got confused who was who. But that's just me. I'm just weird.
What about Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Which one?
The first one.
First one.
alright.
Original one.
Yeah.
I weren't like a fan.
There's a
of
remake,
it,
I
but-
know, and stuff like that.
I watched recently one that came out in the last 10 years. It was Texas Chainsaw Bloodlines, and yeah, viewers, don't watch it. It was shite. But it all went. The premise was like when he was a kid and how he got brought up and all that.
Oh, it's a prequel then.
Yeah,
Or was it a prequel, sequel?
it was all right for something to happen on the background for the murder scenes, you know, the death scenes and all that.
Does any of the original
But-
deaths come back, or
No, but even like I remember I watched the original, the OG recently, and I think it was more of a shock because it came out in the mid-70s and all that. And no one's seen it before, but compared to like the 80s and 90s and then 2000s and now, the death scenes are not that massive. It's just more of a shock than anything.
I think it's psychological because the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when she's sat on that table at the very end, it's a proper messed up scene. There's not a lot going on, but the psychological effect that it has on her is played out very, very well. And it's a very old film as well, but it still plays it so well.
Right, I think we should start wrapping it up with the
Yeah,
movies. Obviously, you've got me who's seen a lot of the movies, but I can't remember them. And then we've got Christian, he's the film buff. And then Benny somewhere in between, I guess. Film buff too? I don't. Well, I can remember them all, and they're like classic films. But then I'm not very good at like actors' names and stuff like that. But I think like each week we're going to do like a 15-minute segment on movies. So we do 80s, 90s, favourite horrors.
I got a little pineapple down here with me.
Coconut. It's called Coconut.
Coconut.
Oh, that's my cat. Pineapple.
Well, you're just describing his manhood.
Coconut
Pineapple down
Express. Right. So we'll wrap it up on that. So now we're going to probably do tea time news, right? We're just going to pick some random news facts and then we'll talk about so the first one I heard on the radio today, and that was that it's 50 years since this is actually films as well. 50 years since the making of Jaws. So 1975, is that math right? I think so.
Yeah, give
Give or take.
Let's get a
Give or
calculator.
take a few months. Right, and then so they said that this like conservation hippie, conservationist, is that the right word?
It's a bit worrying.
Help me out,
I
guys.
don't know.
A guy who loves the
You
conservation.
say that, I think like nudist or something
Yeah,
like that.
They say
Naturist.
Yeah. So apparently, so he's going to be swimming, not naked, I don't think. He's going to be swimming in, I think it's Massachusetts, where they recorded Jaws, and he's going to, in fact, that sharks get a bad rep, right? And they're not known for killing anyone. Apparently, I think they are, but apparently, like all the shark experts, they're like misunderstood. Right, and I've heard that a few times recently that sharks are misunderstood.
Well, they think we're seals,
Yeah, exactly. But then when you go and like to abroad, they're like tiger shark will eat you, right?
Yeah.
So I can't believe it's not all sharks.
Well, no, you think like also like with Australia, where they've probably got the biggest shark killing rate.
Yeah.
You don't get seals around there. There's just people.
Yeah.
They're really just getting the time, so he's swimming around. There's the sharks there. Like, it's been 4 hours now.
So apparently he's like, I don't know where, if it's on an island or something, but he's swimming to like out of like, it's not like a protest. This is all I heard on the radio. I didn't really have time to look it up. But he's just going to be swimming to a conservation guy to show that sharks are friendly. And then I thought, what if he gets eaten by a shark, right? So it sounds horrible, but if he gets like, so could you imagine the irony of it all? If he swam, we love sharks. This is where Jaws are. You've all been brainwashed. I don't know if this is right, but then he's going to be. Imagine he just gets a little chunk bit out of him, but I still love him.
You're gonna get all his family members around the corner around a shark cage, like just get in it, god damn it.
But I did see another clip where, like, apparently, like, if you just give them a little bit of violence, they get scared or something, and then they.
I was
swim
like,
off.
you tap them on the nose, or well, not tap them like boom, like that. You full on punch them in the nose, and then they get like shook up.
So
and
back to another film, the beach.
The beach, yeah, that was a good film.
Punches,
yeah,
he's
punch,
like,
yeah.
It's just a mum. It was just a baby shark. The mum's gonna come back.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And then that's the classic song on there as well. Was it Moby?
Moby,
Yeah.
and it was also the
James Bond? Maybe do James Bond as well.
No, he done Jason Bourne. It was that pop band that done All Saints, wasn't it? They done a song.
Oh, yeah, but didn't they just copy the Moby song afterwards?
Yeah, it was probably that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Most pop.
I know what you're on about, so I had looked it up before. But then, right, so another bit of news I found was, you're all glad to hear, was that that Gloucester cheese competition.
Would you ever do that? Going down that hill?
Yeah. So the chart, like, so I think the idea is that it's just a bit of a laugh, and then they roll a big block of cheese down the hill, and then they have to chase it really fast. And I just saw this fucking clip, right? This guy's like, can you imagine the steepest hill you got in Gloucester? And this guy's just full pelt, and he's like cartwheeling down after this bit of cheese. And even all the other people who were there like competing were like, oh fuck. And he's going out. I don't know. I'm guessing they win the bit of cheese afterwards, or
it's a bit of a messy.
I think it's quite a pride thing as well. It's like, I'm the Gloucester cheese champion.
I'd like to do it, but I'd probably have to like book a month off work just in case, because I'd probably end up with a broken leg, broken arm, couple teeth missing.
Yeah. You get a t-shirt or something at the end of it. That reward.
Also, another thing,
a little cheese slice, entirely cheese slice.
I don't know. We tried to come up with ideas, and then this for some reason, I just had this idea because I was driving and I went past all these cheese places, and now I can't get cheese out of my head. Now Facebook knows, and it's just advertising anything to do with cheese because it's just listening in.
Algorithm.
Yeah, the algorithm's like, oh, we're going to give them some cheese news, right? And now it's all just coming up. Anything to do with food. So the other bit of news I heard was the Lincolnshire egg throwing competition, right? So
egg throwing,
right? So I think they said the champion was like 90 something meters, right? That's not how far you can throw an egg. That's how far you can throw an egg and catch it. And it was two farmers from another country.
And it can't crack or anything like that. It's got a
kind of practicing with your mate.
It was funny.
They've got like oven mitts.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
I thought that was a real thing. Anyway, they have oven mitts. They have egg mitts. Yeah, because so you can imagine like how many times they've egged each other, right? So if we you start here and like, right, let's catch it. So me and Benny, we were going to have the idea that we were going to take it out in the street and lob eggs at you and see how many you catch. But we'd start close, like a meter. I reckon I could do 2 meters. What do you reckon? 3?
Yeah, go for it. I'll see if I can get some kitchen utensils to see if I can catch
Apparently, then they have what they throw in one. There's some sort of thing they throw in one boiled egg one, and then I can't remember what the reason was. And then
do you hard boil the eggs?
No. They throw in one for some sort of. There was something to do with one boiled egg. All the rest are normal.
Yeah,
I can't.
That's probably that's the practice run. That's the practice run.
Cool runnings.
Yeah, that'd be the practice run.
Yeah.
Imagine catching it and like, oh, fry, it's done. That's what I was missing.
Yeah, so that was why I was up Lincolnshire.
I'm gonna get you running with like a plug-in heated grill, like trying to catch it. Trying to catch it.
Well, I feel like we should be doing food reviews as well. So when you think about drinks and stuff, like what food complements drinks as well. So if we had wine, we could have cheese, right? Cheese again.
I do like wine.
What?
Shut off the pap. I love a little wine.
I will be on
Bread?
Le Pepsi because I don't drink wine. It get me fucked.
Yeah, the problem with wine is you drink at the same pace as beer, if not quicker, and then you have 2 massive glasses, and that's a fucking. You have 2 pints. That's a bottle gone, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, no, screw it. I'll go on the Bucks first.
What about Buckfast?
Buckfast. Oh yeah.
Tonic wine.
Yeah.
So
all the expensive stuff apparently.
Yeah. That's made down here.
Yeah.
In
Buckfast Abbey.
Buckfast Abbey. But it's
by the monks.
But I used to live in Scotland.
Yeah, and of course it's a national drink up there.
Yeah, pretty much that and Iron Brew.
Did you do the cable toss? Is that Scottish?
Well, you should try.
On the way to school.
You should try a Bucky Brew, and they do it like say the Pit at the Nowhere, and mentioning random pubs, where it'd be a shot of Iron Brew, a shot glass of Iron Brew, and then the actual shot glass is with that in it. Knock it back.
I've never seen anyone drink fucking Bucky out of a glass, to be honest. And then. So I remember when I used to live up in Scotland, it was like they used to call them Neds. Do you know what a Ned is?
Flanders? No?
No, it's like a chav. So it stands for non-educated delinquent, and that was like their version of it, and it was all like. But I used to drink it as well because it used to get you fucked because it's like a special potion, like a tonic. I think like the best thing I could.
Do you know what's really strange? You don't interrupt you. It hasn't even got high volume on it. It's only like 15%, but it will get you fucked.
Yeah. It's like weird as well, and then. The only thing I sort of compare it to is like some sort of like wine mixed with cough medicine, which I think it might have been used to make cough medicine, like before. But I think we were brought up on like things with like potions in because you ever play that computer game Golden Axe? Remember
Golden
that?
Axe, yeah.
They used to have a little potion bottles, didn't they? Like ding ding.
Like your mana.
Your mana. At the bottom.
What about was it gummy bears?
Gummy bears,
They used to drink it and they used to go bouncing all over the place. And then you had Pac-Man, who used to take pills.
Yeah.
Still is, I think.
Yeah.
Still going strong.
Running away from all the ghosts.
Got message onto it as well.
I've just thought of an idea what we could do. So I'm going to do another plug, and it's for the Nowhere In pub. But they've got a slushy machine in there.
Yeah.
And they do an
I've got a little mini one in the kitchen.
do an Iron Brew slushy.
Yeah.
We could do that, Iron Brew slushy, with a shot of the Buckfast poured on top.
Yeah. Well, I don't think a shot of Bucky's going to do anything.
Try and do that and have the eggs thrown at you at the same time.
What other news? I don't know if I've seen any other news really, like that I want to bring up on camera. There was obviously a few tragedies recently, but I always just sort of try and get like the random news, like because all the news is just there to trigger you, isn't it? Really.
The world needs more happy events. I think that's what we all need. We all hear about the basics, the bad stuff. Let's hear the good stuff.
Yeah, but how many times do you overlook the egg throwing competition then?
I've never looked at the egg throwing.
Murder, death, kill!
That's my new thing for today that I've learned about the egg throwing competition.
Yeah. And then,
as
to
a
be honest,
person,
like, so many people come up to me day to day and they're like, oh, have you seen this? And then like the manager was like, oh, you see that co-op cyber attack or something like that? I was like, no. He's like, oh, you've been living under a rock. I was like, what the fuck will I pay attention to? A co-op cyber attack?
You wouldn't know, like really, a customer wouldn't know unless you were working there.
Yeah, exactly. Like who would care anyway? What news? What was that news you showed me earlier? Actually,
the news you brought up.
Random news. Was it something?
It's definitely very random. Can't remember.
I can't remember it now.
It was that good news. It was that.
Yeah, I think we should just get pissed and do the news, make it better.
It wouldn't even be the news. It'll be
so
clean.
What again?
Slushy machines. That was it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for Tea Time News.
Yeah.
Right, moving on. So we've done films, and we've done a lot of talking about films.
Mostly cheese
films.
Cheesy films.
We're going to talk about beer and what we're going to do with beer, wasn't it?
Drink it, hopefully.
Drink
We'll start with that one.
Right, so should we start with what's your preference, like type of alcohol, if you have to have one?
I don't know, if it's not just like a lager, it's probably going to be a nice IPA.
Yeah, so it's like beer, IPA, lager, sort of ales, sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like a bit of cider. I like all the fruity mixes. I think that goes down quite well.
I'm surprised you like that because you're from Plymouth, aren't you? So you like down here. You love cider. Cider's like
Cider's more Somerset, isn't it?
Yeah, Somerset. That's what
you've been saying it, innit? It's coming out, isn't it? The cider side.
What was that cider you was on when we had a beer the other day?
It was Copperberg. I think it was like lime.
Was it lime?
Similar, yeah.
So my rules are: I drink anything if that's all I got. I do like a beer and stuff like that, but beer you get a lot more, and it's generally. But I would say my go-to drink is rum.
Rum
and base.
Rum and base.
Yeah, the rum and base shack. Check me out. Yeah, so it's like, but the good rums are really expensive, and I can't justify paying like so much for a bottle.
A lot like Kraken, or
yeah, so it's like better than Kraken.
Yeah.
So one down here, Devon rum. So the Devon company.
It's actually called Devon rum.
It said Devon something on it, Devon rum, but it's like £40 a bottle, 70 cl or something like that, and then like, or it's like £20 for this tiny little one. I don't even know what it is.
What would be your go-to rum? So of course you got you got like Captain Morgan's
It depends
Kraken.
what phase of my life
where
I am, how much money I got. Because there was times where
he might like a white rum.
It would be an Aldi. It would be spiced rum.
Yeah, spiced all the way.
So like anything sort of like I like the Caribbean, not like I do like Navy and stuff like that. But you guys like that down here because Plymouth's like full of pirates, isn't it? So
rum everywhere.
Yeah, like the Barbican.
Can't get enough rum.
And I always say down here it's somewhere between like farmers and pirates who've just created a city that's bombed out in the war.
That's why like every Tom, Dick and Harry's got a beard.
Yeah, and then whenever there's trouble, like you go to London, it's like loads of young lads and stuff like here. And then over here, it's just like a middle-aged man's come out of a pub and stabbed someone up.
Just as a pirate.
Yeah, it's like 40-year-old man. There's been a stabbing there, damn kids! And they're like, 40-year-old man come out of the pub and ran someone over. Sorry if that's happened to anyone you know, but...
Well, you better run over by a pirate looking...
But, like, so it depends with rum. If it's hard times, but you have to get some rum, then it'd be you have to go Aldi and get the fake Captain Morgan's, which looks really similar. You can tell it's based on Captain Morgan's. I think am I allowed to say this? Aldi has shut me down. Old Hopkins. Yeah, but they do like the white as well and all that lot. Then you get your Captain Morgan's. Thing is, I drink it with Coke, and I like it with like brand Coca-Cola because it just goes so well. Like they always try being fancy and they put these little, like like the little bottle and it says cola in it. But it doesn't taste right. But I don't drink Coca-Cola anyway. But I love it with rum.
Cherry Pepsi,
that's a good one. Ginger as well.
Yeah, no.
Ginger ale.
I do ginger ale with whiskey. That's not bad compared to someone that we know that puts Ribena in their whiskey. What was it like?
I've been there when I've tried to be all hardcore and drink whiskey, and I've got no mixer or something, and I'm like, I've got some squash.
Really?
And then someone's like, what are you doing? Are you mixing that with like squash? And I was like, yeah.
You've got your fruit shoe out and just pour it in.
Yeah.
What was how much did you venture out when you was over in Germany?
Yeah.
Of course, one thing I would love to do is the Oktoberfest. Go over there and do the Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
We do it down here like pavilions and all that, but to that extent over there would be something else.
Yeah. Germany's just like really good all the time. And Oktoberfest, and that obviously brings loads of people in. And like, I feel like Brits are a little bit different to the Germans because
we just want to knock it down, get smashed.
I was doing like traditional sort of stuff as well as the British. We were always just drinking and stuff like that. And then it was actually quite funny because our local bar we used to go to, right? We started doing Jaeger bombs, right? And then all the younger like Germans started coming in. They started ordering Jaeger bombs, but they didn't get it. It was you shot a Jaeger bomb, didn't you? So they were ordering a Jaeger bomb, and they were sipping them, and then they'd have it. So it's just like, but is there a drink, isn't it, or is that another country? It's close to Germany, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
Switzerland. Yeah,
somewhere.
You're meant to be the facts checking guy, right?
Let's get my phone out now.
Yeah, but to be fair, I was ordering this rum while I was over there, and it was like 80% or something like that, and it got me messed up. It was called Captain Blood.
Captain Blood?
Yeah, it probably made you piss blood, I don't know. Yeah. But, you know what, the Germans, really good beer. So, good beer, you go there, good atmosphere, you have a good Stein.
We're going to bring some German beer for us to try.
I had a nice proper Stein, like it was like a stone one of where I was. It was called Hamel, but we called it Hamel, but I don't know if they called it Hamelin. But Hamelin, it's about an hour down from Hanover. But the good thing about being in Germany is the roads are amazing. So when I was there, I had a German car, a Mercedes, and then I was driving back and forwards, and you can just drive, you can go any direction you want. So, and it's like, because it's landlocked pretty much, isn't it? It's like you go, you can just quickly 4 hours you can be in Amsterdam.
Yeah, and also like, not even just like Germany because I've not been there, but in Europe they take care of their roads. Literally, well, I've been to recently, like a few times over Spain, sometimes like southern Spain where it's not touristy areas, and the roads are so flat. There's no.
Could you imagine if they're doing 140 miles an hour on an autobahn and then they fucking took care of their roads?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they got good cars and they got good roads, right? And so what? So you've got BMW,
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes,
Yeah.
VW.
Yeah, that's German. Isn't it?
Yeah. What other ones you got? Audi? Is that German?
Audi.
Audi? I don't
Is
know.
Audi German? I don't think I know.
And they take over a lot of cars as well.
It's like when I was growing up in the 90s, well 80s and 90s, but more 90s. Like if you had an Audi, you were full of money. You had bags of money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Now everyone's near enough got a bloody
Yeah,
Audi.
and it's the same. It's the same. All these people must get most people must get their cars on finance.
Yeah.
Let's be real, because there's no one these they got a good job and they're getting one on finance. Even like when you see like high up managers and stuff like that, you hear that they got theirs on finance, and most of them are all these or they rent the cars and they give them back after a few years. But like I tried to get one on finance, but my driving license was out of date. What else was there? Yeah, so Germany's like really good. They love recycling.
Yeah.
Right, and they get money back. Oh, you would love this, Christian.
You get money back?
Yeah, so you would.
It's kind of like the homeless picking up cans off the floor in a shopping
They do
truck.
that at like Download Festival.
You go to their supermarket, right?
Yeah.
Right, so you go down and you go in there and you get a proper nice crate of beer. So you get the big bottles like that, and then you get them in a big plastic crate that folds up, right? And then you put all your beers in. You know, like old school milk bottle ones we have over here.
Yeah.
But bigger ones of them, like a German. You've probably seen them like green and plastic and stuff like that. And they got a handle on them. And then once you drink, you put your bottle back in. And then the next day you pick it up, take it to the shop, and they give you money back or money off your next load of beer.
That's good. Oh,
They
I've
also
done
got
that.
recycling machines. So if you went down over your cans, you put your cans in, and it prints you out a little receipt with money, and then you go spend it in the shop.
They do
For
that
more beer.
At Download Festival, they collect all the glasses. You
Yeah.
see them when you go to festivals, they stack all the glasses up, massive queue of glasses, all held
Yeah.
up, and take to the bar, get all that money back over, and then just spend it back on alcohol. So it's a similar situation, but probably Germany take it forever in the better way.
But they sound aggressive, but they're actually like being really polite. So it's like, hello, hello, and it's like, thank you, Dankeschön, and they're like, you're welcome, bitteschön.
So
But they're actually all right.
you know a lot of German, and
Meine Deutsch ist nicht so good.
I mean, it's all right, I guess.
Yeah, not so good.
not so
but and then they're like, my English not so good either, and then you laugh like that. But like, there's a point where I was like really, really trying to learn it. So I was like, and I learned the basics, and I was like, hello, how are you? Enough to get by. Like, how are you? How old are you? What's your name? My name is Sean. Blah blah, and you get through it, and then you make a little effort. And some of them are like, oh yeah, really cool. But then some of them are like, we do speak English, you know. And they're like, oh, all right, sorry for trying to learn your language.
Yeah.
But most Germans I met were really nice.
I'll be like, oh, I know the word like sausage.
Big up Germany.
That's about it.
Yeah, Bratwurst.
Breakfast sausage.
Bratwurst, yeah. Yeah, so that's way better than an English sausage.
Is it? What's the difference?
Isn't it bigger?
Is it just Mahusive sausages compared to?
Yeah, it just tastes different as well. Like if you have them on a barbecue and that, I think they're just better. And then you have currywurst as well. They usually serve the currywurst like chopped up in the curry sauce.
Yeah.
But what they do lack on is snacks. You'll miss your snacks. So you'll go there and like the whole aisle's like salami or cheese, which I like cheese, yeah. But then you want some salt and vinegar Pringles, or you want some, I don't know, barbecue cheddars or something like that. You go to their crisp bar and it's like paprika flavour or tomato ketchup.
You want your pork
or
scratch
ketchup
and
curry
stuff, yeah.
sauce.
Going back with the sausages, like, so someone I know, dear to me, of course, she, fussy eater.
Yeah.
She likes, sausages and all that. I went to the cinema recently, and go to the cinema, I've got to have a hot dog, French mustard, ketchup, onions, the works. She tried it for the first time.
Yeah.
And she didn't quite at first want to admit it.
Yeah.
But she thought it was banging.
Yeah.
Because she was just so used to the normal sausage.
Mm.
No puns intended. And yeah, I think even when I was going over to Spain and all that, and we'd go to Villastrat, which is next to Villosa, and the other side you got Benidorm and Alicante. Went for a New Yorker, and it's so good compared to we're just used to like having a barbecue actual sausage, but.
I hate sausages in a jar, but it's hot dogs in a jar.
But that's near enough the same, though.
No,
it's just thinner. It's near enough the same.
I hate them because I can tell the difference. As a kid, like my nan used to try and give me these hot dogs, so it felt so bad. So I'd be like, "Oh, nan, I can't eat them. They're horrible." But then I go to a hot dog store and you smell them in town and that, and it's like a proper sausage just fried.
Yeah. So you like to it's been looked after, basically, rather than just stuck in a jar.
What's the Sunday? What's the Christmas one like? Even though they fork out like £10.
Christmas market?
Yeah, do you know the Christmas stores and you've got the...
In Germany?
No,
Plymouth.
Plymouth.
Yeah.
So I've lived in Plymouth for, I don't know, maybe 8, 9, 10 years, can't remember, right? And I've watched that bratwurst stall go up in price every year. So I used to go there and I said to everyone, this is my tradition, and create my own tradition. I was like, I'll get a bratwurst each Christmas down the store, one bratwurst, right? And I'd go down there and I'd get one £4, £5, £6. They're now like £10 or something. How much are they now?
I couldn't tell you.
They're that much that I've broke my tradition.
Yeah, the only thing I do every single year, like where I work, every year, I will always get a Yorkshire pudding wrap.
Yeah.
And that cost me like £8. I paid like £3 for some potatoes, and they were near enough solid.
The German markets are absolutely mental. So you go there at Christmas, right? You have the Christmas market, and nearly every town or big city, and they have a set period. It's all the Christmas market comes out, a bit like the ones in Plymouth, but bigger scale. And then you go down there, and everyone's out, and like.
Is it the same price?
I feel like Germans like weather is more traditional, like Britain used to be, where we had like snowy Christmas, hot sunny summer, and that was like it. And then you go down there.
We're showing our age now. You know that.
I was thinking about
the climate's changed in the last 20 years, right? And then we have like they used to drink Glühwein. That's like hot wine. Like this, and they put other stuff.
Oh,
in,
like mulled wine.
A mulled wine, mulled wine, mixed with other stuff as well.
Yep.
And then, but I weren't really into that. Oh. But people just drink it to stay warm, I think.
What was the prices like over there? Well, back that was a different time where we were paying.
That was like 15 years ago. It's not that long ago. But
children have been born since then.
Like some things, like their takeaways are not as good as ours. Like we've got everything over here, don't we? If you want a Chinese now, it's not even relevant to China food. If you're Indian and stuff like that, over there's a lot of Turkish people. So there was like. So you do, but their kebabs are different. They have but I really liked them. I think it was like gyros. You'd have a gyros kebab, and it was like they wouldn't have doner kebabs, or they do some places, but not.
What was it made out of?
It was just another type of like if you when you order a kebab and you like they've got all them other bits on them, the other ones.
Shish kebab.
Like a shish kebab, you have different ones. It was its own thing like that. I'm trying to remember, but I used to like them, but I don't know if I just got conditioned to like it, But their pizzas were terrible. Like, I ordered a pizza once, I didn't know what it was. It come with a fried egg on it.
Fried egg on a pizza.
Yeah, and this is what's funny, like, you would order a pepperoni pizza, but their word for pepperoni was a pepper. So you just get this like green peppers all over your whole pizza and no pepperoni. But they have salami, so you'd have to ask for salami. But salami's different to a pepperoni, isn't it?
I got worried when you said pizza, when you said peppers, I thought it was be like one.
This is meant to be about alcohol.
I'm thinking of an egg on pizza, a side of chips, and just dunking it.
I just thought it was like one pepper on a pizza.
But then their word for pepper, like when you put pepper on salt and pepper, is pfeffer, I think. Pfeffer, I think so. They'll probably get destroyed in the comments. You liar! But yeah, so top drinks, rum. Then I go for like any sort of beer or ales like that. I quite like Doom Bar and things like that. And then occasional cider, it depends what it is. Like, I'm not too much into them fruity ciders anymore. I liked them when they were like, Rick came out and it was like, oh, Recorder League. And then and it was like special. But now there's like every single aisle and everything is all like it's like pink lemonade gin, isn't it? It's like raspberry and apple cider. And then it's the same with the vapes. It's like strawberry pink lemonade, fluffy candy floss.
Candy floss flavour.
Yeah, and I feel like everything's just gone like that flavour.
I mean, well, it slowly started in the 90s when you had like the Alkies drink Mad Dog 2020.
I liked MD 2020.
Well,
they drink that in Scotland quite a lot as well, and it's like it comes in the cool little glass bottle.
Yeah,
as well,
yeah,
don't it?
yeah.
Yeah. It's like
You've had Crystal Skull vodka before?
no, I don't think so.
Who owns that? Isn't that one of the like celebrity owned?
I don't know,
company?
but I look at the glass, but yeah,
I know
really
that
good.
radio presenter Charlie Sloth's always doing the AU vodka, isn't he? Is it Sloth? Charlie Sloth? He's like,
I'm a radio.
He's like brushing his teeth.
I'm a Radio 2 guy myself.
Jesus Christ! What do they even play music?
yeah. Scott Mills sometimes puts some in.
Right. So, welcome to your daily podcast.
Enjoy our voice.
Yes, charitable events. A to Z.
And then the news.
Followed by the weather.
It's raining again.
But I don't know. I'm not a vodka. I just don't like vodka. I'm not a vodka fan.
And it would like with age, like back in the day with me.
It's all like we're 70, mate.
I know, but like
Still in my 30s.
yeah, but every time we go out and we have drinks, and it will either go two ways. If we stick with the beers, we're all good. The minute we put something else in the equation, that's when it goes slowly, rapidly.
I always mix my drinks.
I know you do.
And it always ends really badly. And like every time we've gone out, I've gone out on an empty stomach, haven't I?
Yeah.
And I've been up early in the morning. So the last time I went out, it wasn't with you, but I got up at 4, went to work, finished at 2. Right, went drinking with someone, and then I was drinking 3 pints to his 1 every pint. And then that was alright, started off well. And then it got to about 9 o'clock, and while arm wrestling people in the pub, that one we all ended up in there once.
Is it Newmarket? Or?
No, that one that's, if you go down the back of the barcode, and it's on the left.
Oh, okay, yeah. We went there for.
We ended up in there once.
Yeah, we did for a night out.
Yeah, and they were telling us to be quiet down there. They were like, we're getting complaints, and I was there like arm wrestling all these youngsters like in the pub, and then I was fine. Then suddenly my head just started spinning, and I was like, I had to go. And
King's Head.
King's Head, yeah, that's it. And I was like, I had to go. And then next minute, I'm doing my local, no, don't get taxi, get home as quick as I can, run. I was wearing my boots and everything, decked it.
You didn't get a kebab or nothing?
No, I went to the kebab shop and got a pizza, but my head was spinning that much that I got out the kebab shop and just before they even cooked it and just left it. And then I looked at my thing in the morning. Good job it was a kebab shop pizza, it was only £8.
You could have gone the
Because
whole
if
family
that was a
feast.
Domino's or something, I would have been pissed off. Yeah, and then I was getting missed calls at like 10 o'clock, and I was thinking, right, to be fair, that's not bad. Like 8 hours of drinking solid, mixing my drinks. But the reason I mix all my drinks is because I can't afford to just sit and drink rum all night in a pub or a decent beer. I have to go with the I can't afford it, but I just choose not to. I go with in-house ales and stuff where like Weatherspoons, it's like $2.89.
Oh yeah, cheap as peanuts.
Yeah, you just go there and it's like $2.89. Like I went up to Dog and Duck last week. Like the cheapest pint I was getting was like £5.60 or something like that for Carling.
Carling's piss water.
Yeah, and then I was going up to it, and then I eventually went for one of them Apocalypse, and then I was like, oh, I'll try that one, and then they got the glass out the fucking fridge, like just the glass in there. I thought, that's going to be expensive. It was probably like £7 or something. And you have like 4 pints at that price. You're starting to add up then, isn't it?
You're basically paying for the glass.
Yeah.
Nice chilled glass is coming out.
If I had the balls to steal it, I was on my own. Oh man, you get caught. That's all right when you're a group of people. Oh, sorry. When you're on your own, you're thinking, like, oh, it's for my glass collection. Sorry, run off. You'd probably get fucking kicked in, wouldn't you?
I paid this hand tax on the.
Can you imagine me getting muttling?
Well, do your Motley run and do a graph? We
There's every load of 50-year-old men just like rough on coke, just like rough them up.
Yeah, because Motley Plain used to have quite a few places, like Cafe Soul, for example. And you work your way down to like Destinies and C103.
Jazzy one, what was that called? What's that on the corner?
Oh, Jazz. Oh, that's not Jazzy. That's the rock place. You're thinking of the Junction.
No. The other side of the street.
It was Boomerang. Oh, well, Hyde Park. You've got the other end.
Further down, opposite Domino's, roughly.
I think I know what you're on about. I can literally picture it.
Yeah, it's like a little.
But
it was like they did food. It was really famous. But I don't even know if it's still going. Doesn't it?
KFC.
Nah, because you've got so you've got the rock one on the corner as you go in, and then you go a bit further along. You've got this is how I do it. Rock one, then you got Dog and Duck on the right. Rough one. Then you got Old Man one.
You had the underground that went down. Underground
is the clubby one. Yeah, that's like the cheap fucking rave. Then you got the Old Man one, I call it. That's like the Fortescue. Then you got cheap man one. That's the was it Man and Mead?
Man and Mead, yeah.
Yeah, and then you got
good food though.
Yeah. Then you got posh trendy one. That's the Hyde Park one. And that's how I rate.
I've never been there. I've
all got nicknames.
Yeah,
so that's what I nicknamed in my head. So whatever mood you're in and wherever you're going. So if I want to rough it up, I'll go Dog and Duck. I want a cheap one with normal people.
Do you think they're really strict there because it's on a roundabout? And I'm thinking if you come out staggering, you never see that anyone
say that. I'm sure some people probably nearly got hit before, but they had a picture up in there or I've seen a picture before, and it was like obviously there before it was a main busy road, wasn't it? And it was just like a nice quiet road where anyone had fucking probably horse and carriage.
Horse and carriage. Yeah.
Find us points, please.
And then trying to get your arm wrestling.
Yeah.
I want your horse.
And then, but it's a trendy bar when they serve chips in a pint glass.
Yeah, in a pint glass.
Yeah. So like with a little napkin hanging out in the pint glass, and it was like an upper end student bar. I would call it.
I remember I went to Varsities years ago, and it was a dog.
It's a dog dish one.
It was a dog dish. It's a photograph for me there. Yeah, and it was basically chips and fry up in a dog bowl.
Literally, just there you go. Enjoy your dog bowl. But yeah, there's quite a few changes in Plymouth.
Yeah, not for the good. Not for the good though.
But Plymouth's got a lot going on compared. I'm from Ipswich originally. That place is dead. Me and my brother went back there, and you could go for a drink on a weeknight. Nothing is open. There might be one pub with like 3 people in or something.
And licensed till 10 o'clock at night.
And it's like, where is everyone? Oh, they just drink at home now. And it's like, what? And then it's like, even like on a busy night, it's like nothing going on. I think they might have some drum and bass events now and again, but it's like. But then you come to Plymouth, we've got the Uni and it's down the Barbican, and it's still sort of going. It's like the city of the southwest, isn't it? It's kind of.
Well, it's more student area now.
Yeah.
There's a lot more students around.
Because you used to have all the Navy, didn't you?
Yeah.
All kicking off down Union Street.
They'd all come from the dockyard.
And then the dockyard, and then the Marines.
So the Navy.
All the students. And like someone was telling me when I moved there, they were like, 20 years ago it used to be like a riot, and the riot vans are out.
But it was crazy because across the dockyard they had a pub. They used to ding a bell, and all the women would just take the tops off.
Oh, the Avondale, yeah. I know the pub. I'm not going to say if I've been there or I haven't been there, but I know the Avondale.
It's weird, ding ding ding. Like,
but I can't confirm they do not do that anymore.
Have you checked? Got a little bell. We bring it in with you. Come on, I'm waiting.
I brought my own. You know the ones you get in the shop like ring for beer.
Absolute perverts.
I think I was like 18 at the time. I'm like, what is it?
But they had that like massive club, didn't they? The Raven Club down Union.
Dance Academy.
Yeah. And then I always hear people going on about that all the time. Obviously, I'm not from the
They
Southwest,
need to do something with that. They need to do something because it's listed, so they can't do it.
Grade 2, is it listed? Yes, which practically means that you're not allowed to do anything with it or knock it down. And if you do build on it, you have to follow all their rules. And no one buys it, does it?
It would cost probably millions.
It's the same with the Civic Centre. That's horrible looking, but some idiot got it listed, and it's like just a derelict building now ruining the front.
A lot of places are just left to just fall apart now. Basically.
It's history.
Yes. Well, it's like Union Street. It's quite flat. That used to be pubs and clubs, and a lot of that's just left.
Yeah.
It's
always depressing. Like, so I started clubbing at JFK's, which turned to C103, and it's just all boarded up now, and it's just sad.
It was good in there though, because you got all the poles, the bus.
You had the stage if you wanted to do a bit of like headbanging and.
I remember a mate going there dressed as Mr. Blobby and he got pushed off the stage.
What time
he bounced off.
What time?
6.
Well, I think we're coming up to the end of the podcast, really.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in. You think you just end up listening to us three talk
shit, basically.
Yeah.
Talk shit about pubs,
drinks.
Plymouth, more pubs, cheese, food, more alcohol. But the show is called All Hands on the Pump.
All Hands on the Pump.
So I think we're going to call it a day there. We're going to aim for an hour episode, maybe once a week or once every couple of weeks. You happy with that?
Yeah.
We're going to try get some good topics, and we're probably going to end up going live eventually, so we can interact with everyone who if anyone's interested in it.
What can go wrong?
So pretty much films, alcohol, food, Southwest.
Yeah.
Mix all that combined.
And of course,
bit of music.
If any of you have any recommendations of where we could go anywhere around the Southwest for, as I said, a cheese or a nice pub, let us know. We're hungry and we're thirsty.
Yeah, we're hungry and we're thirsty, and we need to review alcohol to make our lives better. So,
but drink responsibly.
Yeah. So we could do an A to Z of alcohol drinks, and then this is right. And then we had the idea of doing a map.
Yeah.
So we could start with Plymouth. We're going to hang a map up there, and we're going to go pub, and we're going to review alcohol, and we're just going to become like piss heads.
Yeah.
We should put a little cheese counter up every time it's been mentioned in this one. I mean, if we know how many cheese has been mentioned in this episode.
I'm not even like a massive cheese fan. I'm not like one of these guys who eat the mouldiest cheese.
I'm going to buy a cheese hat.
Yeah. But I like
just
extra.
Wallace and Gromit.
I like extra mature cheese or extra strong cheese, but I don't like the real blue mouldy shit. I'm not like a hardcore enthusiast.
You're
cheese connoisseur.
Late at night, you go into the fridge. You're like,
my
precious.
I'm gonna have some weird dreams tonight.
Nightmares.
Cheese is my crack.
But yeah, if any of you have got anything to suggest to us, send it our way. You never know. We may have a pint with you.
I am sitting forward as well. He's not a midget, by the way. He is. He's taller than me, but he looks well. We give him the smaller chair. All right, that's an hour up. Take it easy, guys, and say all hands on the pump.
All hands on the pump.
Let's go.